Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Fitzpatrick, as the graphic probably displays once this finally hits the website. To our public at large at Blackstone Valley Tech, first of all, we certainly hope that this message arrives and your family is safe as we deal with these uncertain times. These are challenging experiences for all of us, and the flexibility and training of our student has allowed them to be better prepared to address anything they face in society. But we do wish you the very best. This taping is taking place during the second week of the governor's declared modification of all travel and the closing of schools. Therefore, the accuracy of information we have is somewhat dependent upon that time frame. I'd like to take a special message to say thank you to our students, graduates, and interns who are assisting communities throughout this area and beyond. Our individuals at nursing homes, at medical centers, in industry, our graduates, we certainly are proud of our graduates from West Point to Annapolis, and a new graduate headed to Air Force Academy. We're actually proud of all of our graduates as I interact with them, and they make a difference in laboratories and in other scientific, investigative, STEM careers to assist in responding to this virus. I also would like to convey a special thank you to our staff who have demonstrated just not surprising, because this is the type of loyalty that we regularly is displayed at Valley Tech. But on behalf of our school committee, our leadership team, and certainly myself, I want to say thank you to our staff that are organizing online lessons for enrichment purposes, special education staff reaching out to students, our food service staff and others who are coordinating significant distribution of food and nutrition to assist students, particularly those on free and reduced lunch throughout the Valley. Our custodial staff and tech staff, frankly, every member of the team continues to be available within the rules allowed and to contribute and continue to provide service. They're an excellent example of what happens when a community comes together, and the reputation that Valley Tech takes very seriously. This presentation focuses on the FY21 budget. Our budget was voted by our school committee following a public hearing on March 5th. The school committee meeting that followed that public hearing endorsed the budget at a 3.9% increase. The budget was built with anticipation of the original governor's numbers. And kind of an ironic development, we were not scheduled to receive significantly new state support from Chapter 70, the base aid for education. And therefore, if there is a reduction in the state aid, since we weren't headed or anticipated to receive a significant increase, maybe we won't see a significant reduction. Not that there's any good news in any cutback by the state. The budget book will be shared in this presentation, and it's once again printed by our students and our own staff, and it's a consolidated version of the full FY21 request for our 13 communities. At this juncture, the town managers and many of the finance committees across our district, we have 13 town managers, and we have basically 126 finance committee members. These are loyal individuals who provide significant recommendations to each of the towns for the finances of each community. But all of those have received a copy of our budget, have been provided to them through their town offices. And in many cases, there have been exchanges, emails, and phone conversations with town managers and or liaisons to those budget subcommittees to respond to questions and where possible. A number of the Finance Committee presentations have been delayed, but we will continue to provide information as needed. But there is a consolidated version of our full request, and the certified warrant information was also sent out shortly on the, actually it would have been March 6th. Our treasurer would have certified, and those confirmations and the certified documentation were sent to each of our 13 towns. The budget process included the subcommittee, which is a cross-representation of our members, the school committee, our administrative team, our business manager, and treasurer. That group met at least 10 times in publicly posted session as we gradually built this budget and the 3.9% increase. Consistent with our standard procedure, the budget book includes the cover letter that I craft indicating some of the major components of the next request. I'd like to point out to our public that we take very seriously at Valley Tech, and the school committee encourages this constantly, that we look for alternative ways to reduce the assessments that we ask of our towns. Valley Tech, among other things, needed a new truck for plowing. We do our own plowing. The local DPW does an excellent job within the community, but we don't call upon them to do the plowing of our 13-town regional vocational school district structure and campus. So we basically determined that that was a $50,000 acquisition to acquire both the truck and the plowing that would accompany it. With the help of our alumni and our fundraising efforts, we raised the $50,000 to acquire that asset and did not include it in the budget. But that is only the beginning of the strategies we implemented for the FY21. With the support of the school committee, once again, we self-funded $225,000 from our excess and deficiency fund, which was previously certified by the Department of Revenue, to reduce the assessments for next year. We didn't stop there. We self-funded the next section of our roof project, which was a sizable project, and received advanced approval, which could be proved to be critical if the state reduces the subsequent approval process under the Mass School Building Authority. But with the help of our team, Valley Tech secured advanced approval under the Mass School Building Authority for the accelerated repair reimbursements, and the fact that we self-fund meant we could move up significantly in the line because we were not dependent upon subsequent bonding vote. This means that we once again can make improvements here to a 55-year-old facility without asking the taxpayers for more monies to do so. This allows us to make improvements. The bids process is underway. And we continue to do that. The state changes relative to services and others have not impacted their ability to secure competitive bids and to work closely with all the forms and requirements of the Mass School Building Authority. We will receive 55% reimbursement for that, and that 55%, once it comes back, will be returned to the excess and deficiency fund for subsequent use. Our cost-effective efforts were found in multiple categories. With the help of our business manager and our facilities individuals and the team, we were able to secure reduced rates for utilities by entering into certain partnerships with the utility firms and also drawing upon field-based, non-campus-based solar energy opportunities. Each of those activities are described in the summary page. One of the other things that Valley Tech did, given the support we consistently have received almost every year in a unanimous form from the citizens of our district, we were able to be particularly aggressive in this past cycle in pursuing grants. An example of that is displayed in a check that was recently highlighted in a presentation with the governor. This $830,000 award was just an example of the more than $2 million of competitive grants and, in some cases, formula grants that the district secured. This was done to avoid the need to include these items, although they're very helpful to maintaining state-of-the-art training opportunities for our vocational technical programs, but we did not have to ask the taxpayers to include that within the budget request that has been advanced to our member towns. Our budget book includes a revenue summary sheet. Our town managers, we recognize, and oftentimes the finance committees, maintain a close monitoring of the state downloads relative to the anticipated state funding. A major impact of our budget is the absolute minimum obligation or contribution determined by the Department of Revenue. This is something that is not in the control of Valley Tech. As mentioned in the cover letter, that is a calculation that the state does on the basis of the 2017 income levels of the citizens of each town and the 2018 property tax base of each community. We inherit that number from the state. and obviously are obligated to include it within the budget request. The backside of the revenue sheet indicates my previously referenced $225,000 offset from E&D to reduce assessments. This has been a practice of the Valley Tech School Committee for a number of years, certainly in excess of 15, and we continue to look for ways to do that, but also to replenish, not have the well go dry relative to our ability to assist our communities and continue to recycle money in that form. The next sheet is the individual assessments on a town-by-town basis. The October 1 enrollments contribute significantly, but not in total control, since the Ed Reform Law of 1993, and certainly not changing with the more recent Educational Opportunity Act just passed. In any case, it details the enrollment of October 1 in each town and showcases the operational assessment or ratio of ownership by each community. Following that, each of our budget book details the previously voted bonding that allowed the building to expand in I believe, the last 4 years of that bonding activity. So, excuse me. This is information that was provided to each of our towns when the bonding was first approved unanimously by our towns and has been in place. 9 of our communities exempted the bond effort, and this continues to be reduced each year as the payments are made. The next section of the budget includes a summary of each of the line item series activities. The state consistently makes changes in the line item categories, and so observers of this budget and the detail that's provided within it will notice that in some cases a given category saw increases, but it may be attributable to the reconfiguration of the category by the state, not necessarily an increase in that line item compared to a previous year. Sorry for any confusion on that, but our auditors, and by the way, our independent audit is completed every year. It's all part of our expenses. It's built into our budget. And the audit was a very complimentary one. Again, my thanks and appreciation to our treasurer and business office for maintaining the consistency that has brought the independent audit to be so complimentary as they produce that document. The next section of the budget book walks its reader through section by section, indicating descriptive narratives in each category to provide additional insight. Again, the total increase is 3.9%. We provide various charts that are in the budget book to help highlight that. But we also include a section which is worth noting. Okay? One of the things that Valley Tech takes pride in is in making a one-time request of its communities, shaping a budget to get through the next fiscal year and having it be whole, having it be anticipatory relative to not coming back to the communities and asking for additional funds. As our planning includes a number of cost items that would not be included in a K through 12 school budget system. We hope the citizens of the Blackstone Valley support each of the 11 feeder systems that are part of the network, but would wish to point out that the Valley Tech budget includes all debt, includes all capital improvements. It includes the cost of workers' compensation, any pension obligations. By the way, in that category, once again, we were able to utilize money that we negotiated from the state to forgive a previous debt payment associated with pensions, and to allow some $100,000 to be contributed to the OPEB without asking for any additional dollars of the citizens to do that. We also cover unemployment costs if we have them. We cover the cost and our contribution of a school resource officer to assure that our environment remains safe and is a high safe. The $80,000 safety grant that we secured as part of the grant efforts allowed us to make further improvements for cameras and other entrance security measures. Our own students and staff, in some cases retired staff, assisted in the renovation, another way in which Valley Tech maximizes the dollars that you provide. All health insurance is included. It's not on the municipal side, it's within this budget. Life insurance factors, property insurances to protect the investment that the taxpayers have made, casualty insurance, trash, recycling, snow removal, as previously mentioned, all and any federal revenue shortfalls that we experience, any state revenue shortfalls. The cost of all central office is included within the building in our consolidated fiscal autonomous environment. All legal expenses, we do our best to minimize legal, and I'm not aware of any litigation that's pending at this time, but hopefully that continues. And certainly our treasurer, the audit, and other expenses. All of these expenses are referenced and included within the budget, and we ask anyone who might attempt to compare and contrast our request with that of any other system be mindful of the fact that those are included. And with a great deal of pride, we share a delineation of the grants that were secured. I'd like to convey a special appreciation to our senators, Senators Moore and Fatman, and our 5 state representatives, Representative Murray, Soder, Frost, Meridian, and certainly Hot Dog Joe McKenna. Our constant lobbying with the representative groups that serve our legislative contingent has enabled us to be successful in securing these competitive grants. In fairness, a non-vocational technical school might be hard-pressed to secure or not even be eligible for some of the grants that we pursue. But by doing this, we're able to complement the investment that we ask of our 13 towns. Once again, I thank you on behalf of the school committee and leadership team and all our staff and our students. We are so proud to serve you, proud to continue to make improvements, to respond to the questions you might have, and continue to respond to the incredible opportunity that the students flock to us. The enrollment application interest here continues to be impressive, if not robust, in its summary. And we're proud to respond to the challenges and working closely with the some 500 industry advisors that assist us in making certain that our skill sets, our competencies are relevant and on target. Thank you for your support, and I wish you the best health to everyone.